Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to sixth grade math rates lesson. Pause while you write the lesson title in your interactive student notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your notebook. Today's objective is I can find rates by completing practice problems with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. The standards we'll be addressing today are: understand the concept of a unit rate, A, B, associated with a ratio A to B, with B not equal to 0, and use rate language in the context of a ratio relationship. Another standard is use ratio and rate reasoning to solve mathematical problems in real-world context. Let's take a look at this key idea. It has the pencil icon, so that's a clue that you need to copy this into your math notebook. You should already have the key vocabulary in your words worth knowing section in your notebook, but you also need to write this key idea in your lesson. Rate and unit rate. A rate is a ratio of two quantities using different units. So that's important. A unit rate compares a quantity to 1 unit of a quantity. Equivalent rates have the same unit rate. Here's how it looks in numbers. You pay $27 for 3 pizzas. So the different units here are dollars and pizzas. So the rate is $27 to 3 pizzas. And the unit rate is $9 to 1 pizza. So that's what it means when it says you compare a quantity to 1 unit of another. So we have 1 pizza, so that's 1 unit of another quantity. So we're comparing 1 pizza to how much it costs. And then write how it would look in algebra, A units to B units, and the unit rate is A over B units to 1 unit. Now remember here that B cannot equal 0. B does not equal 0. It's a 0, not a D. Study tip: in rate A to B, you can divide both A and B by B to find the unit rate, which is what our lesson is about today. Example 1, writing a rate. The double number line shows the rate at which you can earn points for successfully hitting notes in a music video game. Write a rate that represents this situation. So if this were a problem on a test, for example, you could pick any one of these and you take the number on top and the unit and you put the word for or the colon, and then you take the number on the bottom that corresponds to that number on top and its unit. So 600 points for 4 notes is one possible answer. So one possible rate is 600 points for every 4 notes. Another possible rate would be 150. I'm sorry, my pen is having a hard time here. 150 points for every 1 note. Example 2 is about finding a unit rate. A piece of space junk traveled 5 miles in 8 seconds. How far does it travel per second? So when you see that word per, you need need to think about, they're asking me for a unit rate. So they're asking you, how far does it travel in 1 second? In 1 second. So we're going to use a ratio table and divide 8 by 8 to write an equivalent rate in which the time is 1 second. So you have 5/8, and you want the bottom of the fraction, instead of 8, to be 1. So in order to get the bottom of your fraction to be 8, you divide by 8. If you divide the bottom of your fraction by 8, you have to divide the top of your fraction by 8. So 5 divided by 8 is 5/8. That gives us a funny looking fraction because we've got a fraction within a fraction, but it's really just over 1, so it's okay. It's 5/8 of a mile. So the rate 5 miles to 8 seconds is equivalent or equal to 5/8 of a mile per 1 second. So the space junk travels 5/8 of a mile per second. Example 3, we're finding equivalent rates. So a chef buys 6 pounds of salmon fillets for $51. How much will the chef pay for 9 more pounds of salmon fillets? So he has 6, he wants 9 more, just like it. So it says, using a ratio table, divide to find the unit rate and then multiply to find the cost for 9 pounds of salmon fillets. So we know that 6 pounds cost us $51. So our fraction is dollars per pound is $51 over 6 pounds. And we want to find the unit rate. So we take 6 and divide it by 6 to get the bottom of our fraction to be 1, because that's what a unit rate means. And if we divide the bottom of our fraction by 6, we have to do that to the top as well. 51 divided by 6 equals 8.5. So the cost of our salmon fillets is $8.50 per pound. That's our unit cost. And then we say, okay, we want to buy 9 more pounds of these. So we need to multiply that unit cost by 9. So 8.5 times 9 is 76.5, or $76.50 for 9 pounds. Oops. Okay, let's look at this study tip before we move on. It says the unit rate of cost per unit is called unit cost. The unit cost of the salmon in example 3A is $8.50 per pound. You buy 2 pounds of tilapia fillets for $16. What is the cost for 7 pounds of tilapia fillets? You could do this in a ratio table. You could also do the number line. It doesn't matter, because $16 is easily divided into halves, fourths, and eighths. It is appropriate to model the rate using a double number line. So here's what you're starting out with: $16 for 2 pounds, and you want 7 pounds. So you could figure out the unit rate, which would be 1 pound, and so half of 2 is 1, half of 16 is 8. So you know that for every pound, you're going up by $8, or as they've marked it out for you here, every 2 pounds, you're going up by $16. But when you get up to 6, you've got $48, and so you have to know that you're going up by $8 to get to 7. So 7 is halfway between 6 and 8, and to find the value halfway between, so find the value halfway between 48 and 64. Well, you're going up by $8, so 48 plus 8 is 56. So the cost for 7 pounds of tilapia fillets is $56. So you can do this number line thing, or you can find the unit cost and figure it out that way. Either way works. Please remember you need to finish your notes in your interactive student notebook, do your Google form questions, and review the lesson if you need to. Also, you need to finish your Big Ideas Math assignment in your Math Spiral notebook and submit that in Big Ideas Math when it is 100% correct. Don't forget to track your progress on your playlist.